Before becoming a billion-dollar brand, Jeep was merely a strange piece of slang borrowed from a cartoon dog in the Popeye comics. The creature was called Eugene the Jeep, a small yellow animal capable of disappearing, appearing anywhere, and passing through walls by slipping into a fourth dimension. In 1941, when the first military prototypes entered testing, American soldiers noticed something similar. These vehicles crossed mud, climbed rocks, and rushed through forests, places where tanks and horses both failed.
We call these HESCO barriers.
Among exhausted troops,
they keep the
a joke
perimeter
began to circulate. This thing must be
secure.
Eugene the Jeep in real life. What seemed like a trivial story became a linguistic milestone for an entire culture. The name Jeep was not born in an engineering office or even on a battlefield, but in a moment of humor shared by people living through war, proof that emotional language can sometimes be more powerful than technical logic. The 1930s marked the golden age of American comic strips. Popeye was not just entertainment. It was a symbol of resilience during the Great Depression, small yet strong, quirky yet useful. When Eugene the Jeep debuted in 1936, it quickly became an icon of limitless capability. A being that could be everywhere at once, understand everything, and move beyond human constraints. For young soldiers trained under the looming fear of global conflict, that image felt real. They lived in an era where science and myth blended together. Radio, radar, tanks all seemed almost supernatural. When the first Bantam or Willys vehicles leapt across muddy trenches, soldiers did not reach for terms like suspension system or gear ratio. Instead, they exclaimed, "That's a Jeep," not as a technical noun, but as a cultural comparison. In that instant, a comic book symbol became a battlefield icon, and a fictional word transformed into a real-world label. During wartime, many tools lacked official names. Soldiers named objects based on experience rather than engineering catalogs. A lighter became a Zippo, a bandage became a lifeline, and the four-wheel drive vehicle became a Jeep. The word Jeep began to describe anything that achieved the impossible, from a small anti-tank gun capable of destroying armored vehicles to a mule carrying twice its own weight. In the minds of soldiers, Jeep became a badge of reliability, not merely the name of a machine. Linguistics refers to this phenomenon as semantic drift, when a word leaves its original context and expands its meaning based on emotion, rather than logic. In the case of Jeep, it revealed a universal cultural rule. Humans name things through lived experience, not through technical drawings. This amorphous quality allowed the name to survive across generations of models because it did not simply identify an object. It described the feeling of using it. In February 1941, journalist Irving Red Hausman was invited to Washington, D.C. to test drive the new military vehicle. Ford Motor Company hoped to generate excitement for its GP model. On the steps of the U.S. Capitol, Hausman watched the small vehicle climb stone stairs that even large trucks could not manage. He turned to the soldier driving and asked, "What do you call it?" The soldier answered simply, "Jeep." The next day's headline read, "Jeep conquers Capitol steps." 3 words, and the world suddenly had a new name for an entire class of vehicles. Many historians consider this one of the first viral moments of the industrial age. No advertising campaign, no press release, just a powerful image and a single article. Within weeks, the word Jeep spread across battlefields, appearing in news reports, letters home, and even propaganda songs. The power of Jeep was not only in its engine, but in its ability to regenerate within the collective imagination. It proved that in modern society, language can travel faster than tanks. After the war, dozens of nicknames similar to Jeep existed: Peep, Blitzbuggy, Go Devil. Yet only Jeep survived. Why? Not because it sounded more elegant, but because it was easy to say, easy to remember, and easy to replicate. From a linguistic perspective, Jeep possesses 3 traits of durable vocabulary: a single syllable, creating an immediate and forceful impression. A closed phonetic structure, beginning with the strong consonant J and ending with the explosive P, evoking power and open meaning, not limited to one product, allowing it to describe any object associated with flexibility and adaptability. After 1945, when Willys registered the trademark, Jeep became more than a proper noun. It turned into a generic term in the global imagination. People began calling any 4x4 vehicle a Jeep, whether it was made by Toyota, Land Rover, or UADS. The word had transcended physical form to become an idea, a cultural symbol, where engineering standardization and language merged into one. It did not merely define a vehicle. It reshaped how people understood freedom of movement. While many inventions faded into obscurity, Jeep endured because it was not only mechanical, it was the linguistic embodiment of survival instinct, from a cartoon dog to a global brand. The journey of Jeep demonstrates that the most enduring standards rarely begin in laboratories, but in collective imagination. Every time we call a four-wheel drive vehicle a Jeep, we repeat a cultural memory where comics, war, and language fused into a living symbol. Because sometimes, the most powerful force is not the engine, but the name that travels across every era.